Servus. Here's your Garten-Staudinger from Munich again, and today we're not talking about decoration, not about garden gnomes, and not about let's see what spring brings. Today it's about the 12 woody plants you need to prune in February. Otherwise you'll regret it in summer. Yes, I'm saying it that clearly, because if you don't do anything now, you'll end up later with tiny fruit, half-hearted blooms, or a shrub that looks like an exploded mop. February is not a let's wait a little longer month. February is surgery time in the garden. Right now we're laying the foundation for full harvests, compact blooms, and plants that don't suffocate in their own chaos. And one more very important thing. Starting March 1st, heavy pruning is basically over because of the bird breeding and nesting season. So your time window is small, but crucial. Make sure you stay until the end because I won't just show you what you need to prune, but also why, how hard, and which mistake almost everyone makes every single year. So sharpen the pruning shears, put the coffee down, we're getting started. Let's go. Apple and pear, light, air, and fruit sugar. Fruit trees are like teenagers. If you just leave them alone, things get chaotic. In February, while the sap flow hasn't really started yet, you can see the structure perfectly. The goal is a loose, airy crown. Imagine a bird should be able to fly right through it without getting whiplash. Remove shoots growing inward, crossing branches, steep water shoots that rocket straight up, and old or diseased wood. The more light reaches the inside of the crown, the better the fruit ripens. Sugar needs sunlight. Important, cut at a slight angle, cleanly, just above an outward-facing bud. And please only on frost-free days. Freezing temperatures and fresh cuts mean unnecessary stress for the tree. A well-pruned apple tree thanks you with fewer fungal problems and much more aromatic fruit. Peach, the sensitive star of the orchard. Peaches are divas, but lovable divas. They bear fruit almost exclusively on 1-year-old wood. That means if you don't prune, you'll get lots of green, but hardly any fruit. Remove old fruiting shoots and encourage strong young ones. You can recognize fruiting shoots by the thicker flower buds. They're round and often sit in pairs. With peaches, you can be a bit braver than with apples. They need light and warmth inside the crown. And one more tip. Pay attention to fruiting wood in a good position, not hanging downward and not stuck in the shade. A properly pruned peach tree gives you juicy fruit instead of frustration. An unpruned one gives you drama. Currants. Rejuvenation brings yield. Currants are honest plants. As they get older, their productivity declines. The best fruit grows on 2 to 3-year-old wood. Shoots older than 4 years produce small berries and just waste energy. So remove old, dark, thicker shoots close to the ground and leave 6 to 8 strong young canes. Air circulation is crucial here. The airier the bush, the lower the risk of powdery mildew. And very important, don't remove everything radically at once. Rejuvenate selectively. A well-pruned currant bush doesn't look spectacular, but in summer it hangs full of berries. Hazelnut, less wood, more nuts. Hazelnuts grow fast, dense, and a bit wild. If you don't regulate them, you'll eventually get a mini forest instead of a nut bush. February is the perfect time for thinning. Remove old thick shoots that barely produce fruit anymore. The goal? 6 to 8 strong main shoots. That allows light into the center, and that's exactly where new fruit sets form. You also reduce the risk of fungal diseases that love dense thickets. And here's a bonus. The cut branches make excellent deadwood piles for insects or climbing supports in the vegetable garden. Butterfly bush, radical pruning for flower power. The butterfly bush blooms on new wood. Translated, only new shoots produce flowers. If you only trim it lightly, it blooms somewhere up in the sky, while the bottom looks like an old broom. So cut it back hard to about 30 to 50 centimeters. Don't worry, it's tough. It will sprout vigorously and produce large flower panicles that attract butterflies like a magnet. A radically pruned butterfly bush looks sad in February. In July it looks like a fireworks show of blossoms. Panicle hydrangeas and snowball hydrangeas. These hydrangeas also bloom on new wood. That means pruning now secures summer blooms. Remove old flower heads and shorten the shoots to about 30 to 50 centimeters. The harder the pruning, the larger the individual flower clusters often become, but sometimes at the expense of stability. So keep the balance. Very important, do not treat farmers' hydrangeas this way. They form their flower buds already the year before. A wrong cut in February means 0 blooms in summer. Here knowledge decides whether you enjoy flowers or disappointment. Rose of Sharon blooms through structure. The rose of Sharon loves clear structure. Without pruning, it becomes woody inside and blooms only on the outside. In February, remove weak shoots growing inward and shorten strong shoots to encourage branching. The goal is an open, airy crown. That's how you get large, healthy flowers in summer instead of a few lonely hibiscus blooms hidden in the thicket. It's tougher than many people think. Be brave, but work cleanly with sharp tools. Lavender, compact instead of woody. Lavender needs regular pruning. Otherwise it becomes bare at the bottom and thin at the top. In February you can cut it back lightly to moderately, but never deep into the old wood. Lavender only reliably resprouts from the green parts. About 1/3 of the plant can go. The goal is a compact, bushy growth habit. A well-maintained lavender plant smells wonderful, blooms abundantly, and keeps its shape. A neglected one turns into a grey wooden sculpture. Willows and pollarded willows, control is mandatory. Willows are growth rockets. Especially pollarded willows must be cut back regularly. Otherwise the branches become too heavy, break off, and leave ugly wounds. In February, cut them back consistently to the main framework. That encourages fresh, strong shoots and preserves the typical form. Willows forgive a lot, but they reward consistent care with stability and vitality. Ornamental dogwood. Color needs youth. The intense red or yellow bark color appears only on young shoots. Older shoots fade, so rejuvenate in February. Remove some of the older canes close to the ground. Don't do everything at once. Stagger it over several years. That way the shrub stays vigorous and shows those glowing winter colors it was planted for. Without pruning, it turns grey-brown instead of signal red. Bluebeard, small but demanding a cut. Bluebeard blooms on new wood. If it's not pruned, it becomes woody inside and the flowers move higher and higher every year. In February, cut it back strongly to about 20 to 30 centimeters. It reliably sprouts again and forms a dense, flower-rich shape. Especially in small gardens, it's a valuable late summer bloomer, but only with consistent pruning. Grapevines. Now or never, grapevines must be pruned in late winter. If you wait until spring, the vine begins to bleed heavily. That weakens the plant unnecessarily. In February, shorten the fruiting canes and leave only a few buds per shoot depending on the training system. Less is often more here. A well-pruned vine produces better, more aromatic grapes and remains manageable. An unpruned one grows straight through your roof. And now let's be honest. If today you prune just one single woody plant correctly, then this video was already worth it. But if you've really gotten the taste for it and want to dive deeper into the bigger picture, then I've got 2 videos for you that are personally very close to my heart. One of them explains why birds, hedgehogs, and squirrels die in gardens during winter. In that video, we talk openly about the mistakes we often make with the best intentions. Because it doesn't help if we prune, plant, and sow diligently in the front yard while unknowingly harming life in the garden behind the scenes. Nature protection doesn't stop at pruning. That's actually where it truly begins. And if you're thinking, I don't want to start from scratch every single year, then you absolutely need to watch my video about 15 perennial vegetables you only have to plant once. Plant them once, harvest for years. That's not just clever, that's the high art of Bavarian garden comfort. Less stress, more harvest, more time to enjoy. So if this helped you, leave a subscription so you don't miss a single garden advantage anymore. Write in the comments which woody plant you're going to prune most courageously this year. And now enough theory. Go outside, get your hands dirty, and make the world a little greener. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Servus, your Garten-Staudinger.